Here's the biggest problem with sampling bass. So this is the amazing bass from J Dilla's production that we covered last week, where he actually resampled the hum from his record player. Check it out. And I loved the harmonics in it, and I wanted to use something like it for my own beats. My first thought was I could just sample it, right? But that ran into two really big problems. So first of all, he played it with really short notes, which doesn't really give us the option to play longer notes, like unless we loop it. But that's actually a lot trickier than it seems. See how it sounds kind of fluttery and weird? You could try a fade, but then it sounds even worse. And also when we play lower notes, it sounds awful too. So there has to be a better way we can do this, right? Well, there is, and the answer is all in the harmonics. This is the spectrum of that particular bass sound on one solid note. And you can see like all these different spikes are harmonics related to the root note that we're playing. It's kind of like, you know, we're looking at the DNA of the sound. But instead of trying to like recreate all of the individual harmonic values, we can actually skip all that work and just use a wavetable, which will basically do all of that work for us. With a catch. I'm going to be using Serum for this part, but you can totally use Wavetable as well. It's a really, really powerful synth that's available for free. So if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. So what we need to do is drag our, okay, it's not working. So let's import. So I'm just going to click edit and then we'll go to import. And we can import the bass sample. So basically what this has done is it's taken a bunch of snapshots of our audio at different points, and it's given us a waveform that we can now play with our keys. Now the best part is that since this bass is like a simple sort of sustained sound, we just need to pick one of the snapshots that sounds the closest. And we can also just edit some of these bins, they're called, some of these harmonics to make it sound even closer, right? So we just slow down this attack a little bit, increase the release time. And this is the bread and butter of wavetable synthesis because it basically solves both of our problems, right? We can play lower notes and we can sustain them as long as we want, without any of that weird fluttering. Now at this point you might be thinking, can we do this with any bass sound? The answer is no, we can't. But we can do something really, really clever that once I figured this out, it completely changed how I think about making bass sounds. Here's an example of a live bass sound in Delegation's Heaven Is By Your Side.
Amazing song.
Now, if we just split up the stems of this to isolate the bass sound, you can actually do this inside of Ableton by just going to separate stems to new audio tracks if you're on the latest version. This is what the bass sounds like. But if we import a sample like this into our synth, it kind of just ends up sounding like this, right? And it doesn't sound like the real bass because the real bass has a much more complex harmonic envelope. And it's like trying to ask you which snapshot of the bass you want. And you're like, I want the whole thing. I don't just want a piece of it. So since wavetables excel with, you know, solid sustained notes, which is why our previous example works so nicely, we're gonna actually combine the strengths of sampling with the strengths of wavetables. So we're gonna use the transient from the delegation bass, and we're gonna combine it inside of our synth with the sustained part using our wavetable. So this is the note we're going for. So let's start by matching the sustained note with a wavetable position. I think that's good. Then maybe we could just make a quick little envelope here. So now that we have the sustained part close to the original, we just need to do the very first part, the transient. The first thing we need to do is we need to high pass this bass sample before we import it so that we're not having the lower frequencies of the sample compete with the sub frequencies inside of our synth. You can just drag your clip right onto your noise oscillator, which is basically a sampler. So if I play a note, kind of sounds like this, which is obviously way too low. So what we need to do is we need to match up the sample with our synth key. So let's raise the pitch. So now we can just add an envelope here to make sure that it kind of fades out. And then if we play this out, it's like we're playing the original bass kind of. With the advantage though that we can hold the notes out and then process things. To make this sound a little bit less like a MIDI bass, we can do a few different things. We could add a nice LFO to bend the waveform. Make it sound like it's a little bit more alive. We could also add a nice little filter envelope. So if I just copy our original envelope and put it on our low pass filter here, or maybe even take advantage of some of the crazy things you can do inside of a synth, like add a little pitch envelope to increase the amount of transient and oomph on the outset. So if I set LFO2 here to our master tuning, or maybe get crazy with all the effects, right? So then maybe if you had this original sample and you just completely like filtered out the bass for kind of a low end theory thing, right? The beautiful thing about this sampling and wavetable combo is that now you have a bass that's very similar to the original. You can hold out the notes as long as you want, you can add effects, it gives you all the flexibility of a synth patch, but it does a way better job of handling more complex bass sounds than the Wavetable does on its own. So what did you guys think? Give me your thoughts down below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace.